Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the pre-market live show. Today is Wednesday, May 21st, and let's see how the market looks. It's a little red, but first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence, and I'm not even sure if this thing's working. Okay, somebody did hop on there because it did say there's an error, and it wasn't really hopping up there. I was just kind of waiting for this the StreamYard to work. But anyway, here we go. Let's see what's going on. And there we are. Let's see. There's your heat map. And again, I don't even know if it's working. I should probably hop on my X just to make sure because there was an issue there. I could see that happening when I was hopping on there. Well, let me see real quick. Sorry, guys. And because it don't look like many people are usually hopping on before this. Let's see. Maybe X is having an issue today. I don't know. It doesn't look like there's anything going on there, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe I'll have to end it and restart it real quick because I have no idea. It definitely wasn't working, and I can see that nobody's hopping on here. So it usually has way more people, so I don't think that we can see this thing, and I don't see it on X. So let me just hop off and do it again real quick. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Yeah, it definitely isn't. It's working on the YouTube. It's not working on X. I guess X is having a problem today. So I guess the YouTube feed's working. Let me look on there real quick. Sorry, guys. I can just see that there's an issue, and I'm not sure what's going on there. So I don't want to do it if it's not really recording anything or showing you guys anything. So hold on 1 second. Let me take a look on the live and see if this thing's on. And it is. Let me see. I don't even know if this is working. Yeah, I have no idea. Oh, there looks like people are popping on. All right, I think the YouTube stream is working, just not the X stream. So here, I can't even post out the thing because it's not letting me on. I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, I'll just roll through the show real quick. Not even sure what the heck's going on here. It doesn't look like the X stream's working. Something's going on there, and an error here. I'll try to do it again. There we go. I didn't know you could even do that. Let's see. I think there's a problem with X this morning. Maybe Elon's trying to fix all the goddamn spam and nonsense. Who the hell knows? But yeah, it's definitely not working on X. And it looks like it's still working on YouTube, but I'm not even sure. But anyway, I'm just going to roll through the market, see what's going on here. And that'll be that. So here we go. It is red this morning, clearly. Or maybe I'll hop off and try to do it again, but it looks like it should be streaming. I don't fucking know. Anyway, here we go, guys. And I have no idea if it's even working or not. And I'm just trying to figure it out. I can't seem to open up the thing on there. Hold on. Let me see if YouTube will work on here. This is crazy and bizarre. What a morning, huh? Just sitting here trying to figure out if the thing's even working. That's a lot of fun. Now, let me see real quick. Here we go. It says it's live. And let me see if it's on here. Oh, yeah, it is. All right. All right, it's working on there, so that works. All righty then. It's working on YouTube. I don't know if a lot of people are hopping on the YouTube or whatnot. I'll just post it out real quick that the show is working on the YouTube and not X. And live show here. Let me do it right here real quick. What a pain in the butt this morning, huh? Anyway, live show is working on YouTube, but not X. There you go. All right, let's do it. Oh, didn't post that, but there you go. Okay, now we're good. And I have no idea. Maybe if you guys are posting messages on the X or on the YouTube, it'll work. But anyway, let's roll. I'm not sure what's going on this morning. Just spent like 4 minutes trying to figure it out. What a waste of a time. But let's get rolling here and see what the hell's going on. And we'll go through our Joey's jumpers real quick. We'll just rock and roll real fast here and see what's happening. Again, I think it is working on YouTube. So BDSX, this one was running up. We looked at it last night, as a matter of fact. BDSX, it was run up yesterday, a little bit today right there. So you keep an eye on that one. The market is pretty red this morning, so we might see that pullback. I'm not sure. DGLY, we'll have to go over things and see what they look like. But here's DGLY. That was curling up, and we had looked at that one just the other day, and there you go. It is curling up pretty nice right there, so keep an eye on that. And that edible is looking really good, EDBL, and that thing's jumping up some more. Edible Garden, we went over this the other day, and look at that bad boy. You got a nice pop up again today, 445 to 610. It's at 569, and we were all over that Edible Garden right there. And EONR right here. Let's see what that's up to. It's cruising up there, not looking too bad. EONR, it's hitting resistance at the 50. So we'll see what it wants to do. It was jumping up yesterday right there. And Houston right here, good old Houston Energy or whatever. Yeah, Houston American Energy right there. And let's see what it's doing. I'm telling you, these energy ones are looking pretty good. So I wouldn't be surprised if energy sector gets rolling. And we were looking at this TMDE as well. And that was getting set up. It's way down there. And this RBNE as well. And that one was cruising up and moving up a little more today. So keep an eye on that energy sector. You can see that getting set up right there. So there's them guys. Just to go off of, and then the INDO is another energy one, and this one's popping up. So there you go. And like I said, that energy sector looking pretty good right there. PTPI, let's see it. It was up last night, and it looks like it's cruising up some more to right now. This Petros Pharmaceuticals we had looked at, and that is cruising 16 to 21. It's at 19. So there you go, a PTPI. And RLMD was running up yesterday. Let's see what it was doing today. RLMD, we looked at it last night. It was running up there, and you did get some 70 to 75 action, but it's back to 62, lower than it closed yesterday at 69. And here we go at TPET. And let's see what it's doing right here. TPET. And that one is trying to cruise up there. Trio Petroleum and not looking bad. Good morning, Tyrell Turner. How are you? And everybody else. And yeah, there was problems. There's issues with X this morning. It's not working on the live stream. I realized that it is working on YouTube and actually my Facebook, but I don't think anybody's even on that page. And it's like a Dougie Fresh page. Anyway, yeah, X definitely isn't working. I said maybe Elon's trying to fix all the spam and crap like that because it is a disaster on the X now. It's like unusable. Anyway, TPET and other petroleum, oil, and gas. I'm telling you, keep an eye on this sector right here because it will get cruising. And how are you, Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel and everybody else? Asian Jolie, Barbara, Doge Mama 9, and the whole crew. Tyrell's on there. And MSTR. Let's see. Whoop, I don't know where my finger was there, but what am I typing? There we go, MicroStrategy. And what did you say? Hit 421 in the overnight, and BTC became very close to 108,000 just a matter of time before we hit the new highs. Yeah, it's right there, guys. I mean, it's curling back up. But again, you're going to have to be careful. And we'll just hop right on the Bitcoin right here because everything is topping out. So you're going to see that pullback. You can see it happening to the SPY, and you can see Bitcoin going to start to pull back there. And honestly, it might not be the end of the world. We'll just do our crypto real quick. And yeah, Bitcoin 106 right there. And it was jumping up, as you can see. It's all the way up there. And would it get up to it busted over that 108, 108.32, right, Luis Rodriguez? And look at it in the top. So yeah, it's a matter of time. It hits the highs and then comes back down. Where it comes back down to, your 20s are here. And if it can hold itself back up and keep that base at 100,000, crypto is going to get insane, guys. So I know the ETF held itself at 4.3 in the overnight, which was pretty good. So that could have possibly bottomed out right there and be looking better. Back to 4.4 right now, it says. And yeah, 4.4. And like I said, that one does look a little bit better. So that could have bottomed out. And I'm telling you might be seeing alt season get fired up here. And a lot of times before alt season happens, they do dip down. It did last time real good. And then they got really cruising. And they've been cruising around for a little while here. So you can see where the money will and there you go. Ursula David found us on here. Yeah, like I said, the X isn't working, so I can tell a ton of people do go on the X. I know that just by looking at the numbers each day. But yeah, so the YouTube and the Facebook page, I'll have to post it out. It is on my link tree. All the info is on the link tree there. Anyway, I don't know what's up with X this morning, but It took a little while to figure out what the hell was going on. And there was your Jolie's jumpers and your crypto we just rolled into. And there's your heat map, guys. And we'll look at our laptop lowdowns really quick. Let me just roll through them real fast. ELPW here and Elong Power Holding, and that is a China electrical equipment one way in the top. It just keeps grabbing my attention because it's so far in the tie. It looks like it might even try to roll up a little higher, but I wouldn't mess with that. And this Freight Technologies FRGT, that's a good pullback right there. And it says HKPD was running up the other day and not looking bad, guys. So you might want to keep an eye on that HKPD. And it did run up there. And there you go. And this what is it? HKD. Yeah, this one was setting up the other day. HKD. It's kind of like the other one. But this one is not looking bad either. And it's like a China company, I think, that operates out of France or something crazy. But yeah, this one was trying to set up the other day. Just remembered that one. And good old Holo down here at 649. And like I said before, this one could be setting up. That's probably the bottom down there at that 620. Haven't retested it again. And it's not looking bad down here. So keep your eye on Holo. See if that one can get cruising. And another China one. So the China ones do appear to be setting up here. ICCT, iCore Connect. And this thing looks like it's about to get rolling up there. So keep an eye on ICCT right here. That doesn't look too bad right there. Yeah, it's not looking bad. We'll have to look at it today. IMNN right there. And that one's not looking bad, starting to curl up. Maybe that's that bottom right there. And INTS over here. That's that intensity. I do want to see that one. I've been watching this thing and seeing if it does want to get some intensity soon. And it was curled up looking good. You can see it. It does look pretty good. I just don't know why it's not running there. It should. It don't have any volume right now. What was the volume there yesterday? 435,000. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad right there. In KIDZ, good old kids was pulling back yesterday, and it looks like it's trying to roll off that MACD. It's not going through it. It doesn't appear. And it's like right there. I know it was right there yesterday. So see if it pulls itself back up. It could run. And this PTIX ran the other day, and that's pulling back right there. And RBNE, we talked about it already. And again, it's in the basement. Energy one looking good. XOFR, X4 Pharmaceuticals right here. That one's down in the basement, way in the basement. And ZYBT right there. Let's see what this is doing. If it clicks on it. All right. What just happened? ZYBT. There we go. And this one looks like it's just pulling back there. So there you go with that one. And it is in that channel, but the 20's over and could push it down a little bit more. So you'd have to take a look. And there you go with our laptop lowdowns. Thank you very much, Laptop Travel. Appreciate them. And let's see what else is going on here. Let's see. Like I said, the show is not working on X, but it is working on YouTube there. So that's good. And let me go through the SPY big caps and see what else is happening here. But it does look a little red, and that SPY is coming down. It bounced off. It was so hard to tell last night. And maybe we still get a roll off, but we got to be careful, guys. I'm telling you, there's a eminent dip coming here. These things in the top, they still look like they could roll off of there. You could see right here, and tomorrow could pop up. You could have them 2 days of pullback and then pop up, or you're just going to start dipping down. So obviously, we got to be watching this thing today to see which direction it wants to go. So we'll be keeping an eye on the SPY right there and seeing what happens. And let's go ahead and see what Apple's up to. That one did pull back under the 20, so that's not a good look. Again, I was watching it sticking here, and yesterday it got into that territory where it was okay still, but today it's not exactly okay. We have to see if it's going to roll off of there, and we'll go through the rest of the big caps. But you can see it was trying to set up, and it popped down, and it could go red to green today as well. So we'll be keeping a close eye on everything. And there is Amazon right there down $1.90 as well, pulling back. And it does have your 200 and some support down there. But, excuse me, it is pulling back here. So we'll see if it pulls back to roll off as it has been, or are they going to cross through coming down and we're going to see that dip. It's really hard to tell, guys. I'm not going to lie. Google's still trying to push its way up and not looking bad this morning there. And how about Meta was down $4? And again, pulling back to the MACD, they look like they should try to roll back off and go up. Maybe it'll be like next week they're still popping up. It's happening a little bit slower. They're moving, and like, well, yesterday it really was kind of just a flattish day. It was red, but it just hit that top and just slightly bounced off, and you couldn't really tell, obviously. I thought we'd be able to tell yesterday, and I mean, it looked like it could go either way. Microsoft is pulling back. That's been in the top forever. But again, look at these things sticking up in the top. Usually they want to come out. They come out, and that has support underneath of it. So it's an interesting look. NVIDIA right there, same kind of deal. And NVIDIA is pulling itself out. But look at it. It has support. It could easily bounce right back up there and have another run up there. So, and curl off. I mean, it could go either way. Extremely hard to tell at this moment. And Tesla just keeps rolling. They don't ever care, Tesla. And that thing is cruising on up into the top right there. You can see, and it looks like it wants to run up a little bit higher. So there you go with Mr. Tesla. And Elon, he's got Tesla running good, but clearly X is not running so well. Elon, get back to X, I guess, because it is a disaster every which way. You can't even stream today. That's how bad it is. MTPLF, that is at Meta Planet, and look at that popper, guys. I would say Luis Rodriguez called that bad boy pretty well, huh? What did you tell us? Like right here or right there, and now you're in the sevens. So that one was crazy right there. Meta Planet, good call right there. Luis Rodriguez, that was a beauty right there. And so there's your Mag 7 right there. We just looked at. Tesla's still going up. AMC was looking pretty good, down a penny right there. And let's see GameStop. Let's see what that's doing right here. It's got that support underneath, and it's just pulling back. Let's see what's happening here. Good old GameStop. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. Look at it. It's hitting that MACD. It could bounce back up. And again, they all have that crazy look, and they're so hard to tell. Hopefully today you can tell. Chewy could come back down. I mean, that thing's been running up massively for a little while now, so that could obviously come down. Netflix has been way up there, but still not looking bad at that top, just running flat and could easily pop up and go higher. And that's what I was thinking. They would want to do that, and obviously today could be a little pullback here, and then they start to roll off. So you have a few scenarios going on, and that's why these last like 2-3 this week's been a little bit difficult right here. Go figure. But once they get out of the top, and you can see exactly either they want to run up higher, we can tell, because then we'll be able to tell when they top out, or if they want to curl back down, we'll definitely know that they're dipping. So I mean, it's just right there, and you can't really tell exactly, but it's getting to be at that point where it's going to have to break it and let us know. And look, AVGO, again, still in the top and curling down. I mean, usually that's a curl down to come down, but this market's been wild, so they could stay up there. And I don't know why they're still in the top. They usually would come down. MU is doing the curl down, so that could. And again, they could pop right back up. It is bizarre looks right here. TSM, it's not really showing you a whole lot. Let's put it that way. TSM, it does look like it wants to try to go up a little higher as it sits there. So we'll see how today plays out for everything. Obviously, SMCI, a little bit of pullback and still not looking bad up there flat. Could easily run up some more. Could go either way. AMD was running up the other day in the after hours, and let's see what it's doing. It's just kind of hanging out there. And another one that looks like it wants to roll back off and go a little higher. So I don't know if they have something planned in the White House that they want to have a little speech and make the market rally or something. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but here's QCOM, and it's down $1.12. And let's see what it's doing. Let's see, QCOM. And I mean, it doesn't look bad as it's crossing through, but it is pulling back a little today. So there you go with that one. And they all are very difficult this morning. INTC, I don't like it when it's like this. I like to be able to look at a chart and be able to tell exactly what's going on. And you can't tell any of these. It's pretty bizarre. PayPal right here. just kind of flat pulling back, but could obviously go either way as it hits that MACD and snow. And usually we know like they're coming down. And look at this thing, it's way at the top. Look at all these crazy looks. They do have earnings today, as a matter of fact. And I could see snow coming down right there. I don't know, but again, it could roll off. We know that roll off look, but it's still in the top, and you have to figure that it's going to come down. I mean, gravity does like to pull things down. So I don't know. It's just a difficult look. I wish I could tell today, honestly. And Dell's a little pullback, but still in the top and could stay up there. They could have this massive run up here and then obviously have a really good pullback. So what's Palantir doing? Because it was hitting that support yesterday, and that one looks like it is pulling back and may get caught up on the 20 right there. PLTR. And again, it could pull itself right back up today. We could see the market. We've seen it a million times beat us red and then just change around right in the like 10 o'clock hour, 11 o'clock with no problem. So it is interesting. I'm not going to lie. And that's why we go through everything. Sophie right here, that is pulling back under the 20. It looks like it is dipping down right there. And how about Marin Riot? They've been setting up, obviously. I mean, crypto's getting wild. And look, they look like they want to roll off, but obviously they could dip down. So it is fascinating right here. I do love when it's like this, but I just like to be able to tell what's going on, and you can't really tell with that look right there. It could roll off, and I'll show you what I mean. Bring it right there. You could roll off of here like they have been, and you see them do it all the time. But you're also up here where you can cross down and start pulling back. So it is very, very fascinating to see the charts this morning. That's for sure. We looked at MicroStrategy already, but just down a little bit. Looks flat. Looks like it does want to try to curl up there. And CleanSpark down on that support and could easily roll off the MACD, bounce off that support line, and get cruising. Coinbase just down a little bit. I mean, things don't look terrible. I'll tell you that, even though they've been down 2 days. And even like Hood up here, it's in the top. But look at it, it's still in the top right here. Usually they don't want to stay up there for very long. You are starting to get some red looks, and you had one here. It came down. Look what happened, guys, and it bounced right back up. So that's what I'm talking about. And it looks like that run still has some juice in it. You just can't really tell 100%, but it does look like there's still some gas in the tank, or at least some fumes left, and especially for like the SPY and stuff. So very interesting. We already did our crypto, and here you go. Your SPY is down $3, and it is a nice pullback. But again, look at it. It could easily roll right off there tomorrow and still continue its way up. And then obviously get into the top there and really extend itself, get back up to these highs, and then draw, and then we'll see a big dip. And I'm telling you, the dip is imminent. You just can't tell exactly when it's going to be, and I'm trying to pinpoint it, but clearly it's a little bit difficult, as you can tell. I mean, I usually can pick things out pretty well, and this one's a little tough right here. You get these periods of time where like they make these charts and everything's like in that spot where it can go either way. You have too many scenarios that could play out. And like I say, if I look at it and I start, saying, oh, this could happen, that could happen, or that can happen, something weird's going on. And that's why I can't pinpoint it right there. Lockheed Martin, we looked at these last night. And remember, I think Trump is having like some kind of speech about the shield or doing something today. I forget exactly what we were talking about. And NOC, we remembered this last night, Luis Rodriguez, off the top of my head. I was trying to think of Northrop Grumman, and somehow I remembered at the last second it was NOC. But yeah, that one's looking pretty good, and looks like it does want to crawl through there and run, I'd have to say. So that looks really good, guys. NOC, you might want to keep an eye on that one right there, looking pretty good. And let's see what else is going on here. AREC, Filtrate, how are you? And it is just again, you're 20. I think we have to get back over that 20, and you have a little bit of pullback look right there. It's not terrible, Phil, but a little bit of pullback. And what's going to happen is it'll pull back, and then your 20 will get under and curl it up. And you can see how it's curling down. And this is what happens. They roll off. And we love the ones that roll off now because they're great runners. And usually you love this setup right here is what you would always look for before. But the market's like completely changed. I don't know what the hell happened, but now we have these roll-offs in a whole different pattern. I mean, we picked it out months ago, and it's like I say, it saves our asses for months here we've been on point with things. But yeah, it looks like it's going to get that roll off and then have to set back up, and you can just see it having to do it right there. So I think it doesn't look terrible. I just think AREC has a little bit of setup time, and we'll look at the other coking coal ones because there's only 4 of them. And that's just sitting right there. We were looking at that, sitting right there, sitting right there, and sitting right there. So, yeah, they don't look terrible. They just look like, and this one actually doesn't look too bad right here. Suncoke Energy. It has energy in its name, and it does look like that definitely bottomed out. Now it looks like it's going to try to get cruising there. I we'll have to keep an eye on these coking coal ones again. I'm not saying they're ready to roll, but they're interesting to see. And that one could get set up right there. Good morning, Larry. How are you? And again, the X was not working this morning. Not sure what was going on, but hopefully Elon's trying to fix it. And SPY right here is down $3, bouncing off that top, and it didn't try to get in. But again, it could easily come right here, curl back up, and maybe today's a red day, and then tomorrow it's looks a little better towards the end and pops. We have to keep an eye on it. It's got me thrown through a loop right here. It's really hard to tell exactly what it wants to do, and I don't like when that happens. I like to be able to tell exactly usually what's going on, and we can. And obviously, there are periods where this happens, and you just got to kind of roll with it and see how it goes. Just keep an eye on the charts and keep you guys posted. But that ALLR is looking pretty good right here. And let me see. ALLR, there we go. And yeah, that thing's looking pretty good. It does look like it wants to push right through there. So keep an eye on that one. That is looking pretty good, I must say. And what else did we look at? That TNM, what was it? G right there. Let's see. That one's pulling back. It was trying to run up yesterday. Some healthy pullback right there. So we'll have to keep an eye and see because that 20 is coming up for that 50 right there. And that click right here was looking pretty good again. And is that down some? So that was trying to run up. So they did not keep their momentum. I was wondering if they did, and not really. So we'll see how that one plays out. And again, it ran up and then it crawled up. It started running again yesterday, just kind of flat, just curious. Sava right here, just a little flat. I thought this would be running up. Maybe it's not even moving yet. Let me see. And that is yesterday's date, so maybe it's not moving. But I would watch for SAVA for a little momentum right there. That could be a good one. Good old Sava. And let's see what XLO is doing right here. Here's a couple we were checking out. XLO. And that one don't look too bad. And then Foxo right there. We were checking out this bad boy. And this one's just kind of hanging out down there. So it is curling up. It doesn't look bad, but the market is a little red. And I'm telling you, there's something going on. I just can't figure out exactly what's happening right here. And it's just throwing me through a loop because I'm just looking at it. And each time I look at it, I shake my head and go, well, it could do a couple different scenarios here. And so, yeah, it's just something going on. And I guess we're just going to have to be patient for a day or so just to see. I thought yesterday you could really tell, and it was bouncing down, obviously. But it still does not look that bad. I mean, it is pulling back, but you still can roll right off that MACD and get that last bit of juice out of the tank and get up to that 610 and possibly get right back up to that like 615 and maybe spike a little higher. So interesting morning right there. I'm not going to lie. And I wish we could tell a little bit better, but we can't. Bad week for bonds, it says, and Morgan Stanley turns bullish on U.S. stocks. Here's why it says the market lows have already been made. I agree. We're just going to see a good pullback and how Trump could push retailers to eat tariff price hikes. Dow futures drop 400 points as bond rates move higher, and stocks fall with dollar as traders turn cautious right there. And let's see, what's the TLT doing? It is pulling back there some more. And again, this was, we were talking about this on the small cap show. It looked like it wanted to pull back the other day. And let me see real quick. What is our VIX? Is obviously going to be green, but let's see. It is jumping up there. And let's see, it is curling up. But again, it has that 20 up here and it could push down. So it could still have another another dip down there for one more time. If it did it one more time, that would be the last one. And then obviously you would see the pullback. But yeah, look at it. It's jumped up over that 50 right there, and your 20s coming down. Usually they don't want to pop right off right yet, or right off of that. And so it doesn't have that look just yet, but we'll be keeping an eye on it. That's for sure. Let's see what else is going on over here. That PLRZ's just been dipping hard. PTPI and DGLY were both up, and obviously edibles way up. And here's that this one, keep an eye on HCTI Healthcare Triangle. This is way down there, but that one is going to get set up. It's just not ready. It popped up the other day, and it will get cruising. And there's that green lane. That one's still down there. And let's look at Logic Mark real quick. I forgot to check it out. And let's see. Yeah, this thing is just like kind of sitting right there, too. It has all these weird looks. So not sure I like Logic Mark too much. I mean, it's not in a terrible spot, but when it starts getting them weird looks like that, it does look like it's trying to curl up. It's been trying to get out of the basement multiple times. It should, but you got to worry about something weird happening here. And so yeah, we got to keep an eye on that. And I don't know what these weird looks are about, but something's going on there as well. Maybe it's getting set up to really pop. I'm not sure, but something different right there. QMCO down a little bit, and this thing looks like it's getting set up as well. That just looks like some healthy cool pullback to me. So yeah, these quantum ones didn't look too bad, and like I said, it's sitting right there on the 50. Your 20s coming up. It could pull back a little bit, but that one does not look bad right there. We'll see if it gets curled up right there and the 20 comes up. It's going to crank this thing way up there. So that's QMCO. And RGTI right here is down a little bit, but that's obviously getting set up. Looks pretty good. QUBT. These ones were already running up, and QBT was already up there. It looks like it's trying to swing back up to the top again. QBTS was already running. That D wave still up there in the top, running up even higher. And that QTUM is up there, and that's the Defiance Quantum is hitting the resistance, but it's still in the top right there. And IONQ right there is down a little bit. Nothing real crazy. Almost looks like the SPY. And ZSPC right there. And that one's been pulling back, but this one could be a good opportunity coming up. That could be a bottom right there. Yesterday, we'll take a look at that today, see how it looks right there. And good old RCAT, that one's not looking bad, just kind of pulled back a hair. So there you go with them. And let's see what's going on right here. And yeah, I think Musk is focused back on Tesla, Wintermute. Definitely not X, that's for sure. And he's not doing anything at the White House. So I guess he's back at Tesla. I mean, a guy has like a million jobs. I don't even know how you balance all that stuff anyway. But the dude's a genius and can figure it out. That's for sure. But yeah, he better figure out how to get all the spam and nonsense off of X, or that thing's going to be a disaster. It's not going to be worth a damn thing anymore. Let's see what's going on over here. GCL, what is that? GCL Holdings. That thing looks like it ran up. I know we weren't looking at that thing, but it did run up there. And that SGMA BDSX, that one was running up there. And PTPI and a couple that we looked at. Let's see, DGLY, not too bad right there. Anything else? Here's that Steakhouse one, or steak, whatever it is. What's that up to? Stakeholder, that's what it is. I kept saying Steakhouse, but that's jumped up there. Look at that. So we had looked at that when we were watching it on the split and stuff right there. And LDTC. So nothing really that crazy right there. Let me see if I missed anything over here. Let's see what's going on. And let's take a quick look and see what's happening. UNH did pull back a little bit. Remember, I did say that. I didn't think it was going to curl through right there, but it will get through eventually. And Target's down a little bit right here, and they look like they had earnings. Not sure what went on there today, or if they are having earnings and they didn't release them yet, but something going on right there. And we ride WRD right here. We were actually talking about this, and it does look like it's curling back up right there, WRD. So keep an eye on that. Not looking bad, I must say, for We Ride. Yeah, keep an eye on We Ride right there. And what's that BIDU doing? Isn't that an aerospace and defense one? No, an internet connection one. That's a China one. Never mind. I was thinking of something else, but that one's curling up pretty good. BIDU. Look at that bad boy right there. That looks like it's about to get some momentum. Keep an eye on BIDU this morning. That does look like it's cruising on up there. And let's see. Is LOW Lowe's? I'm not even sure. Yep, it is Lowe's right there. And they do have earnings today, and that one is up. So maybe Lowe's is looking good right there. And I'm not sure what MDT is. What is that one? MDT. I'm not sure. Medtronic or something. And this one had earnings or has earnings today as well. And it jumped up a little bit, but not sure what's going on with there. And there you go, everybody. And let's see. Do I think UNH bounces back? Of course it is, but you could tell it wasn't. And again, it's that pattern, guys. I mean, it just wasn't ready to roll through right there. You could tell. And yeah, it poked its head out of the basement, but I didn't think it was absolutely ready. And you'll get a little bit of pullback and another setup on it and another great opportunity. So that's why you have to get in and out of these things. They run up and then they come right back down. I know people are acting like it was going to go to the, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's so far down there, and that is the bottom. That 250 area is the bottom, but you're going to get some pullback coming back into like the 270s probably, and then have to get set back up, assuming that that's what it looks like. It's going to roll off that MACD and come back down some more. So yeah, that's what that looks like right there, Brad. And but yeah, they do run up a few days and then pull back. I mean, it could have got to that 20, but that would have been one hell of a run right there. That would have been pretty massive. And so yeah, that's what they do. And then you just catch them up and catch them down and try to run them around. This FNGD is probably up a little bit. And again, as it curl, I'm watching this thing. If it wants to curl through, I'm not sure. It has that good look on it. I'm not going to lie. But I don't know if it's exactly ready. It's trying to poke its head through, but it's in that spot where it can come down. The 20 could push it right down. So, again, I'm not sure if they're ready yet, but you do have a pretty red market besides Google and Tesla right there are up. And let's see, our SPY is just kind of dipped down $3. We'll see if it can turn around today or even tomorrow. I mean, obviously, you can roll right off of there and get cruising. So it is what we're looking at, and it is a difficult one to see exactly what's going on. We had that edible PTPI, so we were looking at them bad boys. And there's your GCLs running up. We were not looking at that, but that is running up there. And we looked at all this stuff. And let's see, yeah, we already did the news. We did everything, I think. So there you go. And even had an X was not working, so it took me like 5 minutes to even figure out if the thing was streaming this morning. So apologize for that because I had no idea what was going on. And BTOG, that Bit Origin, let's see, that one is trying to get set up right there, as a matter of fact. So I would be keeping an eye on Bit Origin. You can see that one. It does look like it wants to roll off there. Barb and Foxo, I think we took a quick peek at it. Let me see again. I forget what we said. And Foxo, yeah, it's trying to crawl up right there, not looking too bad. And yeah, it's not looking bad right there. I know it was running up yesterday. We were talking about that. And what's it doing? 65, just kind of sitting right there. But again, does not look bad right there for FOXO. And Fox was looking good too. I remember that one when we hopped on it. It just looked like it was going to get into the top. It does look like it wants to get into the top right there. So there you go with them guys. And what's Ford up to, since I just happened to push the F for some reason? And that one is pulling back. Remember, we saw this down here and it looked good, and now it's all the way up there. So that one's not bad right there for good old Ford. Well, it wasn't bad. It's all the way up now. And there you go. I think we nailed everything. And again, X wasn't really working this morning, so I don't know what was going on. Had me a little confused there, but definitely not working. And now I know if I just look at the top, it actually tells me which ones are working. I didn't even notice that until this morning. So I had no idea that it showed you each stream and if it was working. And I could have known right away because YouTube said it was working and X said it wasn't. So now I know to look there, and that will be easy. And that wolf is going bankrupt right there. And look at that big dip, guys. That was a hell of a dip. So Could have shorted that down on that bankruptcy news probably, but there you go with that. And I'd say that's a good pre-market review. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll be posting in the Discord, obviously, and we'll see how this market's going to run. But obviously, it's a coin flip right here. It's got me thrown through a loop, and I'm just like, I don't know exactly what it wants to do just yet. Too many scenarios can play out, so we just have to be a little patient. And if my best guess is, I would say, like I keep telling you, I think it does want to run up higher. I don't know why it would stall itself so much if it didn't want to run higher. Let's put it that way. So that's what it looks like to me. Your Lockheed Martin's moving. Your NOC is looking pretty good right there to cross through. So aerospace and defense. And we went through a bunch of aerospace and defense last night. I cruised through them all, and nothing looked that crazy. That one's popping. Well, it was popping up. So yeah, AVAV. We were talking about that last night. And then all these other ones. And like I said, you don't see anything real crazy. So it don't look like we're in imminent danger of anything, but I think Trump is announcing something with that shield or whatever it is. And there you go. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. And be sure to follow on YouTube if you're not following on YouTube and just on X, because I guess X goes down and YouTube works. So YouTube seems to be pretty solid right there. So the show will always be on the YouTube. And I should have just posted out the link for YouTube, I guess. Like I said, I tried to hop on it, but it wasn't really letting me for some reason. Anyway, there you go. And I would say that's a good pre-market review. So be sure to trade smart and lock in those profits. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, and I will keep you posted on what I see today. I'm not sure if we're going to see a whole lot. I'm just going to look to see if it's curling down more or if it wants to roll back up. So that's what we're looking for. And then that'll give us the direction to know exactly what we're going to be doing and how the market's running. But these last two days or so have been a little tough. Even Friday going in to the weekend was tough. You couldn't exactly tell. It did pull back yesterday. A little bit of pullback, or Monday, I meant to say. And then Monday, and then yesterday, a little more pullback, a little pullback here. So we'll see how this bad boy is going to work out. And like I said, I'm looking for it to try to roll off of that MACD, try to hit them highs, and then we'll see that nice pullback. And you have Bitcoin and crypto all going pretty wild there. Bitcoin hitting over 108,000 overnight. So that's pretty wild. And obviously you're going to see a little pullback, but I do think Bitcoin might be basing in that 100,000, like I was saying before. It looks like it wants to. So that's that. And that's what I have for you guys this morning. Thanks again for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Be sure to trade smart and lock in those profits. So goodbye. Good luck. See you later. And have a great day, everybody.